We're doing a rollers cup. So the Proper Rollers Cup, we got 16 of the most world-renowned rollers, the most well-known rollers and accomplished rollers. And we're doing a $10,000 cash prize for the winner, as well as a tip collab. We do these limited glass tips, as well as a trophy and some serious bragging rights.
Yeah. Excellent. We're here at Hall of Flowers, day 2 at the Edwin Rubis Stage. We're continuing our game day coverage with interviews of the coolest people in the industry. And today we're sitting down with the guys from Proper Doinks, and I'm going to go ahead and let them give their introduction to you.
Awesome. Paul, Proper Doinks.
What up, it's Adam.
And guys, let us know what is Proper Doinks. Give us a background on Proper Doinks and what you're doing.
I mean, it all started because we were trying to find the best weed in the world, and there's a lot of commotion around what is actually the best weed in the world.
Yes, there is.
So we just naturally started smoking things side by side to figure it out, and it evolved into what we would like to consider kind of the UFC of weed competitions.
Okay.
Smoking the most sought-after, world-renowned weed we could possibly find, the most expensive stuff we could possibly find, side by side to see what actually performs and what's all hype.
Yeah. Putting them in a dual setting, basically smoking them side by side, like you said. That way you can really tell the difference between what's standing out and what's not, and categorizing things to what's best.
So I love that. Everybody's seen reviews of a strain, but it sounds like what you guys are doing is taking 2 high-end strains and putting them together in a competition. I love that.
Yeah, it's
Pepsi
like
Coke challenge.
Kind of, yeah. Because the way we look at it is there's a lot of competitions, and they're all cool and everything else, but trying to remember what's best out of a bunch of amazing weed based off of recollection, we've been wrong over and over doing it. We found out the only real way to nail down what is actually the best is to control all variables and smoke them side by side. Instead of kind of making a decision with a bunch of judges behind closed doors coming out on stage and saying, hey, trust us, this guy won. We're not going to tell you why, though. He just won.
Right.
Now, do you have to wait so that the impact of one doesn't affect the impact of the other?
So
what's the time delay?
Are you talking about impact of like high?
Yeah.
So that's not really something that we look into. High is something that we know is going to be an inevitability of smoking the weed. We're looking for more of the interaction with the palate, the smoothness of the weed itself. So when you smoke something side by side, the way that we do it, you're going to inherently want to reach for one rather than the other. And it's usually because of a flavor profile or because of a smoothness difference. So that's why we do the duels.
But to touch on potency real quick, because that's what most competitions look at, is what gets you the highest. For us, we're smoking them at the exact same time, so there's no way to tell which one's getting you the highest. And we're kind of coming from a connoisseur's perspective of the interaction with the palate, more so. Like tasting food, not worried about how drunk you get, but like a sommelier, they're smelling all the wine, everything else.
Well, and the important part, because I've watched you guys do this, and I like the way that you guys grind it the same way, right? You roll it the same way. And so that is crucial because people are going to use a different grinder from time to time. They're going to roll it a different way. They might pack a cone.
And it all makes a difference.
It all makes a difference. That's why I wanted to ask you, maybe give the listeners a little idea on what are the particular things you're doing to get your joint to the point where you're smoking it that keeps it uniform and equal.
So I think the first thing is we use, like you said, we use the same grinder every single time. We're very diligent about making sure that the tips that we're using are the exact same size on each end as well. Okay. We don't want any difference in variable. It's the same paper. It's the same person rolling each one.
Okay.
If you've ever watched what we do or see it, you can see that at the end, we usually, when they're done being rolled, we show them side by side, and they're usually identical.
Maybe a half a millimeter off in length, but really it's just a really fine grind, not too tight, not too loose, with the exact same pressure and size, just to make sure that the only thing different is the weed itself.
Yeah, I love that.
You guys are like, what's that weird wine word? Sommeliers?
Sommeliers, yeah.
Sommelier.
That's what we're going for.
Yeah, we're trying to become the Michelin star of cannabis.
Cannabis word for that yet?
Not yet. Cannabis sommelier is all we've come up with.
Or aficionado.
Aficionado is a good one.
Well, they call them ganjiers, but that's a different thing that I think they took that word, but they're not. They're very knowledgeable in terms of cannabis, but it's not like what a real sommelier is looking at.
Yeah.
So not like the interaction with the palate. They're worried about all these different terpenes and things like that, which is great. But we're just hyper-focused on what smokes the best, period.
So how do people learn about these events, get more involved in these events? As I'm listening to this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm getting on YouTube. I want to check these guys out more. Are you guys on YouTube?
We are.
Social media, where are you guys at?
Yeah, Proper Doinks everywhere. No underscores, no spaces. There's a lot of scam pages, especially on Instagram. We have the blue check on Instagram just to make sure.
Nice.
But at Proper Doinks, no spaces or anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so when is your event? I know. Have you done any of the side by side events that you're doing the UFC style?
Lots of them,
Oh,
actually.
awesome.
And
Okay.
we'll make an announcement here. We haven't told anybody yet. We're doing a Rollers Cup. So the Proper Rollers Cup, we got 16 of the most world-renowned rollers, the most well-known rollers and accomplished rollers. And we're doing a $10,000 cash prize for the winner, as well as a tip collab. We do these limited glass tips, as well as a trophy and some serious bragging rights.
Yeah.
Excellent. And what's going on? Do you guys have something going on today? Is that today?
Yeah, today over in the Batch Building, we're going to be doing the Pudoko versus Dan's Rolling Up. It's a hash hole battle. So it's up to them. They're the chef. They roll whatever they want, whatever size they want, tips, grinder, paper, all up to them. And we just say which one's smoother, which one's more flavorful. We go down flavor accuracy. Does it taste like what it smells like? Flavor purity. Is there any background noise, smoke, tar, ash, spray, etc.? And then flavor strength, as well as the longevity of all those things and smoothness. Does it poop out halfway through, or does it keep going to the glass?
So as a cultivator for decades, I love that you guys are doing this, because the reality of it is everybody's always arguing who's better. The only way to really find out who's better is that people with refined palates smoke it the exact same way, which is exactly what you're doing.
Easy to say you're the best. Hard to go
You
up against
guys are
the
like
best.
consumer consultants, like dream, you know?
That's what we're trying to be.
My mother needs to meet you guys.
Well, because
You
we're
know?
consumers at the end of the day, and that's how this started.
Yeah, this all started
you know?
started organically. You know, we're both consumers who were buying, you know, the best weed that we could possibly find and source.
Never bargaining for art.
Yeah, you
whatever
know, and
they
it got
want.
to a point where you're buying things that people are claiming is something that it's not, and you spend an arm and a leg on it. And so we were like, there's nowhere that you can really go in this industry where you can just have a trusted name that's like, these guys are going to tell you the truth. They're not going to have any bias because they know the brand owners or they're friends with the grower or anything like that. They're just going to keep it real. And so
I love it.
That's where we come.
You guys are for the people and the patient.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
if you guys think we're biased, ask my wife, dude. She entered a competition with a brand that she partially owns, and she lost first round. Okay, we're not.
Yeah, we dogged
nobody's
her out.
safe. We're always gonna tell the truth.
That's good, but not good at home. So
No,
I
she knows
get
the
it.
deal. She knows
Put
the
that
deal.
testimonial on your website.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys coming out. Hall of Flowers, Edwin Rubis Stage. Please tell everybody where they can find you, specifically the ats on all your social media, and if you have a website.
It's at Proper Doinks, at Proper Doinks TV, at Proper Selections, and then on YouTube, just at Proper Doinks as well.
Yeah, we got properselections.com is the Instagram where you can catch the live drops. We actually just had a drop 10 minutes ago.
Awesome.
Right before this. It's all sold out, but next weekend we're going to be going another drop.
That's a good thing. Get this sold out real quick. All right, well, here we are. We're going to wrap it up with Proper Doinks here at Hall of Flowers, the Edwin Rubis Stage, day 2.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.